Good evening. So today's first article is a long haul ahead. So demand supportive fiscal policies alone can end the lockdown induced slowdown. So the long haul ahead means a long drag ahead. There is a long drag ahead, and the demand supportive fiscal properties means the financial policies. This alone can end the lockdown, which is persuaded or convinced slowdown. Factory output continued to contract in July, albeit marginally slower than in June, reflecting the depressed economic conditions as the pandemic rages on. So the factories' output have continued in contract in July means in decrease, and albeit means though marginally slower than in June, reflecting the depressed economic conditions as the pandemic goes on, furies on. Quick estimates for the IIP show output across the three sectoral component of the index: mining, manufacturing, and electricity all shrank, dragging the overall index to a 10.4% year-on-year contraction. So the quick estimation for the IIP show output across the three sectoral components of the index are mining, manufacturing, and electricity, and all them shrank means have decreased, dragging, pulling the overall index, bringing the overall index to 10.4% year-on-year decrease contraction. While this is a slower than June's 15.8% shrinkage, a slower look reveals that the rebound in momentum witnessed in the physical first years last month, when the economy reopened and the contraction narrowed sharply from May 33.9% fall, has dissipated appreciably. So, while this process was slower in June, 15.8% shrinkage. Closer look, nearer look reveals that the rebound in this momentum have witnessed has showed in the financial first quarters last month, when the economy reopened and the contraction narrowed sharply from May's 33.9% fall, has mm, intemperate dissolute appreciably, have been gradually disappearing appreciably from the quarter of last month. The most telltale sign of this flattering is the more than half pace of growth in solitary used base industrial activity of the IIP's six product groups, in which output have turned positive in June. So, the most revealing sign of this flattening is the more than half pace of growth in the solitary use based in industrial activity of IIP's six product groups, in which the output had turned positive in June. And growth in consumer non-durables, it includes essential household consumables, slid back to 6.7% from the preceding month's 4.3%, betraying the abiding weakness in private consumption spending. So the growth in the consumer non-durables, it includes essential household consumables, and slid back to 6.7% from the preceding months, are coming before in order or position or time. Months 14.3%, betraying the abiding weakness in private consumption spending. The other five groups posted double-digit contractions, with consumer durables and capital goods shrinking 23.6% and 22.8% respectively. If the trend in durables attests to the RBI's evaluation last month that private consumption has lost its discretionary element across the board. The capital goods data point to a dismal picture on the investment front. So the other five groups have posted double-digit contractions with consumer durables and capital goods shrinking from 23.6% and 22.8% respectively. If the trend in durables have attests to the RBI's evolution and last month that have made a private consumption has lost its discretionary means a voluntary elements across the board. The capital goods data point to a dismal picture on the investment front, with demand starved companies operating their factories well below capacity. There is a little indication that the protracted 6 quarter slump in the ski sector, which encompasses the plant and machinery that manufacturers order when expanding or starting new ventures, is anywhere close to reversing momentum. So with the demand starved companies operating their factories well below capacity, there is a little indication that the protracted 6 quarter slump in the ski sector, which encompasses the plants and machinery that manufacturers order when expanding or starting new ventures, is anywhere close to reversing momentum. So means lasting for a long time of 6 quarter slump in the key sector have encompasses means surround the plants and machinery that have manufacturers order when expanding or starting new ventures, is anywhere close to revising the momentum. And electricity generation, however, provides some relief with the contraction narrowing to 2.5% in July from June 10%. So the electricity generation, however, provides some relief with the contraction, which is narrowing to 2.5% in July from June's 10%. A deeper look at the 23 subcategories of manufacturing shows that only tobacco products and pharmaceuticals posted expansions in July, with the later benefiting from the increased global demand for medicines including generic drugs in the wake of the pandemic. So there was a deeper look into the 23 subcategories of manufacturing, which shows that only tobacco products and pharmaceuticals posted expansion in July, and the later benefiting for the increased global demand for medicines, including generic drugs, have all awake due to the pandemic. The manufacture of pharmaceuticals, medicinal, chemical, and botanical products climbed 22% in July, making it the solitary product to post an expansion of 1.8% over April July. Textiles and garment manufacturing employment intensive segments shrunk to 14.8 and 28.7% respectively. So the manufacture of pharmaceuticals, medicinal, and chemical and botanical products have climbed 22% in July, and making it solitary product to post expansion of 1.8% over April and July. And the textiles and garment manufacturing have an employment intensive segments shrunk to 14.8% and 28.7% respectively. So to be short, the IIP data come with a lag of 6 weeks, and few more recent indicators give room for some guarded hope. For one of the latest IHS Markit India manufacturing PMI survey based outlook signals that the sector has likely posted some expansion for the first time in 5 months in August. So the Latest news from the IHS Markit Indian Manufacturing PMI have surveyed that the sector are likely to post some expansion for the first time in the 5 months in August. And automakers reported growth in shipments of passenger vehicles to dealers last month in anticipation of festive season demand. And the automakers have reported growth in shipments of passenger vehicles to dealers last month in the anticipation of festive season demand. Still, to help sustain an incipient revival, the center will need to enact demand supporting fiscal policies or risk seeing the slowdown prolong. So, the if still have sustained an incipient rival, the center will need to enact demand supportive fiscal policies or risk seeing in the slowdown of prolonged means continuing for a long period or a lengthy period. And today's first article is about the fiscal policies and what is going on in the economy right now, how electric generation and different types of manufacturing and mining etc are going on, how are they shrinking or how are they contracting or how are they increasing, what are the reasons. Thank you.